Republic. In the Nations League, and they've never been to the Gold Cup. You can remove that never tonight if the Dominican Republic get one of the many results they could use to top the group tonight. We'll step aside, we'll have the procession followed by the anthems, the lineups after that, and then the highly anticipated kickoff to this League B finale between the Dominican Republic and Bermuda.
Damas y caballeros, démosle la bienvenida a la Liga de Naciones de Concacaf 2024-2025 a los equipos nacionales de República Dominicana y Bermuda. Les pedimos mantenerse sobre sus pies y ahora escuchamos las notas del himno nacional de la República Dominicana.
Well, a great hand from the crowd after a great rendition of both countries' national anthems. Sean St. Jacques back here with you for the League B Group D finale between the Dominican Republic here on home soil against Bermuda. The DR, with their adoring public in attendance, are very close to achieving two historic firsts in the country's soccer history. All they have to do is avoid a heavy defeat here and finish top of the group just ahead of Bermuda, and they will qualify for their first ever Gold Cup and their first ever League A campaign. Gabriel Nevelev's hoping this 11 can get the job done tonight. Xavier Valdez, of course, he's in goal, and there's plenty of notables to get to. Junior Firpo, he's in the attacking midfield. Jean Lopez captains the side in the midfield as well. Edison Azcona, Ronaldo Vasquez, and Mr. Nations League from a DR point of view, Doni Romero, are all attacking players to watch up top. Walter Garcia of El Salvador is our head official. There is no VAR. El Salvador and Honduras are represented amongst our four on-field officials. Dante Leverock, of course, captains the Bermuda side as he has throughout the entirety of the Nations League. And since the DR beat Bermuda on match day one in this group, Bermuda have won their last 4 matches, hoping to continue that today as Michael Finley puts out this 11. Reggie Lamb, of course, leads the front line. And then Didier Parfait and Kane Critchlow are players to watch. Zico Lewis gets a start in the midfield. Roger Lee, Harry Twite, Leverock as well, and Reece Jones Jr., all important in defense. Detre Bell gets the start in goal for the men in pink tonight. We will see how it is all going to shape up, but it's looking very good for the Dominican Republic at the moment. Again, as long as they don't suffer a very, very heavy defeat, they will be your Group D winners, and they will get all the historic firsts that come along with it. But of course, the other thing that the Dominican Republic are trying to keep intact is their perfect Nations League campaign to this point. 5 wins out of 5. They've scored 21. They've conceded 3. Off we go from the DR. Bermuda will be kicking us off from left to right. They are in all pink with the white socks. The Dominican Republic are in all navy blue from head to toe with the white and the red trim. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. We had a drama-packed first game between Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica ended 0-0. Dominica stay in League B moving forward in the Concacaf Nations League, and it's a first ever relegation, unfortunately, for Antigua and Barbuda. Tough act to follow, it must be said, but we could get a few historic firsts tonight if the Dominican Republic have their way. The DR on home soil. Gabriel Nevelev is the coach, and hoping that this incredible Nations League campaign ends on a very, very high note indeed. It'll be the first time the Dominican Republic will have gone through unbeaten and potentially perfect in a Nations League group phase. The best they had done was last year's campaign, where they dropped points on 3 separate occasions, a draw and just 2 defeats. And for Michael Finley's Bermuda on the other side of things, you could argue that this has been their best ever Nations League campaign. They are very, very likely to come up short of automatic Gold Cup promotion, I should say automatic Gold Cup qualification and a League A promotion. Sean Lopez leads the DR forward. It'll be recycled all the way back for a reset. Christian Scheuchengeyer back to DeLucas for a full Dominican Republic shuffling of the cards here. Again, it was 3-2 to the DR the last time these two met, September 7th. Fittingly enough, Ronaldo Vasquez was the match winner, 84th minute in Antigua and Barbuda. Of course, since then, there's been many heroes in this Dominican Republic side. Dorny Romero and Junior Firpo, Heinz Morschel, and others have certainly made their impact. They've scored big goals. Here is Edison Azcona to the far side. It's clipped into the middle. It was nearly a free header for Junior Firpo, but it flashed over the Leeds United man's head. Of course, the more recent games for the DR, Junior Firpo has been their best player, and I don't think that's surprised too many people. He's been excellent for Leeds United in the English Championship yet again this season. He has carried that over into what's been a memorable Nations League campaign for the Dominican Republic. Of course, we have this game, and then, of course, we encourage you to follow the rest of the Nations League later on tonight. Final games of the window. Honduras trying to knock out Mexico. What a first leg that was. And of course, Suriname. Can they come back to knock out Jesse Marsh's Canada, who only have a slim 1-goal margin? Lots of League A action still to come later on tonight. And of course, the play-in rounds as well, as it gets a little precarious there for Xavier Valdez of Houston Dynamo, Major League Soccer. And after all that, the DR will settle for a throw. Well, again, the reason that the Dominican Republic are in such a comfortable position is because they have a plus 18 goal differential. So again, even if Bermuda were to win by 1 or 2 goals, yes, the teams would be level on 15 points, but goal difference is the next tiebreaker. And the DR would have to be 6-0 losers tonight if they were to finish in second place. So Bermuda would have to put up a historic win if they were to snag first place in the group. Azcona looking for Firpo. And Firpo was dispossessed on the edge of the 18-yard box. And during the break between the games, we were keeping tabs on the play-in rounds, looking for Gold Cup prelim qualification. It is 0-0 between Guadeloupe and the Cayman Islands, although Guadeloupe, the League A team in that fixture, had a 6-0 win in the first leg, so they're in very good shape there as Junior Firpo brings the DR forward, plays a lovely ball across, and on the turn it's Ronaldo Vasquez. He sends it soaring over the top, and it is a goal kick. While Junior Firpo continues to be versatile for the DR, finds Vasquez, and you never want to see Vasquez turn inside the penalty area, do you, towards goal? And ends up forcing the defense to crowd around him, but cannot force a save out of the goalkeeper. Should mention 2 other play-in games in the Nations League tonight. French Guiana trailing on aggregate against Belize by 2-1. Belize still have a real chance of getting to the Gold Cup prelims. What a moment that would be for them. Can they hold on? That'll be a big question in the Suriname return leg. And then Guyana in comfortable position against Barbados, but they're about to kick off. 4-1 on aggregate, but who knows? Barbados are certainly capable of scoring. See if they could come back and make that one interesting. Belize are the only League C team that is leading over the League A sides in those Nations League play-ins with Gold Cup prelim qualification at stake. Off the layoff here, Firpo tried to fit it through. It's going to go out of play. Tried to find Dorny Romero. Goal kick is the outcome. One of the other parts about tonight as well, Dominican Republic have continued to raise the bar. Their standards have been climbing higher and higher during the last few windows in general, but particularly in this Nations League campaign. They've really wanted to make a statement. Obviously, they want to make history. They want to do it on their terms. They don't want to make a mess of things tonight or make things interesting tonight to make more of a pinpoint statement there. They want to win to make it 6 out of 6, and then they can celebrate what would be a historic night on 2 different fronts. Of course, we saw the U.S. take care of Jamaica last night, and after a thriller in Panama, the Canalmen surviving Costa Rica's late advances. So those 2 teams have already made it through, not just to the Nations League semis, but to the Gold Cup as well, which is why the 2 games tonight in League A are certainly worth watching, because Suriname could knock out Canada from the Nations League, and Honduras could knock out Mexico, who of course are the Gold Cup champions right now. Make life very difficult for 2 nations that you expect, of course, to be at the Gold Cup and to be in California this time around for a Nations League semi. To give credit, Suriname went stride for stride with Canada until the 82nd minute, and Honduras, behind a incredible crowd, scored 2 goals, both of them courtesy of Celtic's Luis Palma. All to cap off what's just been a wonderful 2024 version, or 2024 part of the Nations League in Concacaf. Well, coming together there, and our referee spots an infraction as Kona going through the back of Dwight, and it's going to be a free kick for Bermuda. Baez tried to get it to Ascona, and well, Ascona just took Dwight out. Dwight had actually beaten him to the spot. Bermuda stayed mathematically alive for top spot in the group with a 2-1 win over Antigua and Barbuda last time out, although it was a game they actually almost threw away at the end. Defensively, Bermuda were not up to snuff in that game. I think even Michael Finley would tell you that. They needed to be much better, and they only survived, really, at the end. Dominican Republic, on the other hand, were very convincing against Dominica. A 6-1 win last time out. Dorny Romero, Heinz Morschel, and Eric Paniagua on the score sheet. There was also a goal in there from Rafael Mata. And again, they knew that If they could win that game by a lot, it would take a lot of the pressure off them tonight. If they'd only won by 1 or 2 goals, for instance, then Bermuda would only need 3 goals to be able to usurp the DR at the top of the table. Doubling that amount, I should say, puts them very much in control. Ball into the middle here is chested down. Actually almost presented an opportunity to the DR, but it is cleared away. Sure, the message from Michael Finley was, let's get a lead and try to get ahead in the game first and then worry about trying to knock the margin down after that. That is a rare miscue from Edison Azcona, normally very, very good with the ball at his feet. Plays for Las Vegas Lights, USL Championship second division side in the US, who just played in a Western Conference final recently. They lost to Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Las Vegas have also had a historic season, so Edison Azcona has actually been involved in 2 remarkable runs for club and for country this season. Oh, it's a lovely give and go here. Sambataro blocked. Fairpo for Azcona. Sambataro. Fairpo again for Azcona. They link up nicely here. Heinz Morschel is going to reset. DeLucas. The referee, instead of calling a foul, just had a word. But I think Tijjar Parfit may have followed through. The DR still in possession. Referee allows them to continue to build towards an opportunity. DeLucas for Azcona. Sliding it in behind, it's Fairpo across. And then Edison Azcona chopping it back. Still Azcona, blocked by Twite. And it's out for a corner. Well, that's more like it from Edison Azcona. Very, very tough to stop with the ball at his feet. Lovely little cutback. And he tried to pass it into the bottom corner. Twite was able to cover the ground. Goalkeeper Bell was likely to save it, but Twite wasn't to know that. Good defensive work, and Fairpo to take the corner, although Vasquez is nearby as well. Vasquez leaves it for Fairpo, and Fairpo finds a free header. It's blocked. Morschel volleys, and Bell collects. Schosengeier was certainly in the vicinity. He gets his head to it first. Morschel's volley is a bit more of a reaction than anything else, but it was not hit with crispness. And Bell resets the play. Oh, a lovely little push and a chase there. It's a poor foul from Morschel. Free kick for Bermuda in the end. Another look, that's Kane Critchlow. Actually swapped numbers with Nakai Wells heading into this game today. Wells has been wearing 21, at least in the first game of this window. Kane Critchlow takes the number for the night. I think part of that is because Zico Lewis has entered the fray and has the number 10 shirt tonight. From the Bermuda free kick, it is headed away by, you guessed it, Junior Fairpo. Azcona. It's an early ball up ahead, trying to find Vasquez, and Romero was certainly in the vicinity. It is going to be Twite who resets for Bermuda. And already the Dominican Republic dominating possession. They've had nearly 100 more passes already than Bermuda, but to be fair, that's been par for the course in this Nations League campaign for them. They've just been dominant. Might have a chance here. It's flared across. Owen Twite is able to block it. It's then headed out for another corner. Another sequence that could have ended up anywhere. The DR will settle for a set piece. That was Ascona. It was Leverock who actually directed it towards goal. He didn't mean to do that. And Harry Twite again with a vital intervention for Bermuda in these early stages. Ball in by Vasquez is headed down. And again, Bermuda will clear. Good win back by Ascona. Fairbo. Vasquez. First time ball in is headed over the top. DeLucas, who's already scored a few times, I think, in this group stage. Looking for another goal. But his header flies over the top and out. It's really good service by Ronaldo Vasquez, and DeLucas not able to keep it down. And goal kick is the outcome. Again, like we said, we'll of course keep you up to date. Some of those other games going on around the Nations League tonight. We had the coverage of the first game of the day, Antigua and Barbuda drawing 0-0 with Dominica. All of the play-in games are going on as we speak, and that's a bad pass back. And the Dominican Republic are in, but Fairbo is thwarted by Bell. Junior Fairbo with a smile, but I think he'd tell you that he really should have scored. It's great pressure by his teammates. It's a really poor back pass. And Junior Fairbo actually had a chance to just pass it in with his left. Instead tries to go onto his right, and he actually gives Bell the only chance he had to stop him. And Bermuda, to say the least, are let off the hook. I think many Dominican Republic supporters would have banked on Fairbo scoring there. Not to be. One of the other odd facts and stats that we can share with you, 1 game finished and 4 games going on right now out of the total of 7 around all the Nations League leagues today. We still haven't had a goal yet, which is pretty remarkable. Who's going to be the first goal scorer in the Nations League today? Surely that stat will change by the end of the night. It's very rare this late in a Nations League day in Concacaf that we haven't seen a goal. About to check to see if the flag was going to go up against Dorney Romero, but the fact of the matter is the ball was nowhere near him and he wasn't going to get there regardless. Ball's fizzed out to this near side. This is Zico Lewis. Lewis cutting inside. Oh, and Zico Lewis went for the spectacular. But he shanks it wide, and it's a throw-in on the far side for the DR. Now, to be fair to Zico Lewis, he has scored some very impressive goals in his career. currently playing for the USL League One Division III champions, Union Omaha. Just won the final in League One a few days back against Spokane Velocity, third tier in the US. Seems like everywhere Zico Lewis has been in his career, he's been a part of a winning side, and well, this year is no different. That ball's going to be clipped up ahead. Schweissengard put it in a good position, and Firpo was a late arriver into the penalty area, nudged away from him. Jean Lopez, Firpo across, headed away. And Bermuda are going to be able to, well, try to clear their lines here. Now they do get it away. And Michael Finley's group can reset. Oh, that's a poor back pass by DeLucas. And it's a Bermuda corner out of absolutely nothing. How rare of a mistake is that? DeLucas. These mistakes are collector's items. They almost never happen, especially in the Nations League. Just a reminder that these great players are human, just like everybody else. Can Bermuda take advantage of a set piece here? Lewis to deliver. Lewis with the ball in. Oh, it's a really good catch. Xavier Valdez able to come up with it in traffic and sends the Dominican Republic on the front foot with Urbaez. Urbaez has help arriving. Heinz Morschel. Lopez, Azcona, still Edison Azcona, Firpo, Lopez back for Azcona. Azcona goes back to his fancy footwork, and it's laid off for Vasquez. Ronaldo Vasquez, saved by Bell. Urbaez, and the header is palmed over the top by Bell a second time. Two brilliant saves by the back-flipping Bell. First, Ronaldo Vasquez, I think this took a deflection on the way through. It actually was off of Morschel. Then Urbaez back for Morschel. Two brilliant Bell stops have kept the Dominican Republic out, and there's a corner to come. Wow, what a stop. The second one, clearly the better of the two, but the first one wasn't half bad either. Then from the corner, it's another opportunity for a header, but Bermuda will get it away. And Urbaez puts the DR back on the front foot with Lopez. Another cross coming in, headed away by Twite. DR's pressure starting to mount as this first half moves along. Great spreading of the ball out to the far side. Urbaez into the middle it goes, and Bell wasn't to know where it was going to end up. He palms it out, and another corner is to follow. Another dangerous ball put into the penalty area. And looks like it'll be Junior Firpo's job to put this back into the 18-yard box. Firpo Oh, it was headed over the top and out. Another opportunity, but it doesn't quite hit the target. I think Tony Romero and Christian Schaschengeier were the closest to it. The DR trying to put more pressure on. Bermuda are able to play through. And the ball played up ahead was too early. And Valdez gets the DR back on the front foot. Lopez threading the needle. Ronaldo Vasquez is dispossessed, and he commits a foul. Free kick for Bermuda. And he has to be careful, just punch the ball away. Could get booked for that. As he, well, pretty much throws Martin to the ground. And then a foul is going to go against Bermuda here. Parfit. Ooh, he put a hand right into Urbaez's face. Did not need to do that. It ends up ending the attacking sequence for Bermuda, which for a brief second there looked promising. Michael Finley and his staff, they've done a wonderful job. I think that should be the first thing that is said. 4 wins out of 5 in this group phase. You really can't ask for much more. I think even if they don't get top spot tonight, they could get a result in a positive way, a win or a draw. I think they would feel really, really good about their chances in the Gold Cup prelims and about their League B prospects moving forward. Ooh, Urbaez, did he slip? Ends up getting away with a rash challenge there. And then a push in the back. He's going to flatten out this Bermuda attacking sequence. Didn't really need that. Oh, and then more pushing and shoving here. Parfit needs to keep his cool. DeLucas is just trying to get the ball for his side. No need for any of it, really. It's very poor from Reggie Lamb initially. Parfit getting involved afterwards, completely unnecessarily. And Heinz Morschall ends up being the one who got the worst of it in the end. Again, it's our second game, our final game in League B for the Nations League. Had the first game earlier today, and again, that game had a lot riding on it as well. It finished 0-0 between Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. Dominica stay in League B. That's the big headline from our first game. Antigua and Barbuda relegated to League C for the very first time in the nation's history. Tough to take, especially considering the fact that Dominica, to give them some props, they were the only team in this group that never hosted a game in this Group D phase. They still managed to survive in League B. That's a big tip of the cap to them. Antigua and Barbuda will feel they should have done better. They had hosted games early on. They didn't win any of them. They only finished the group with 1 point. to work on for them moving forward. And then here we are, top end of the group. Nice move here, Ronaldo Vasquez. Played it across. But I think after the defending that was done by Leverock, this is going to be a goal kick. Lovely build-up. It came off of Fairbow last. Look at that little back heel from Morshell. Great control from Vasquez. Ooh, by that angle, it actually looked like it came off of Leverock. Tough to tell. One angle shows you one thing, another angle, and you think the other, but in the end, it's a goal kick. Now there's our first look at the Group D live table. This result would do the Dominican Republic just fine. Of course, they would love nothing more than to go 6 wins out of 6 and finish League B perfect on their road to history. Oh, lovely ball in behind here. Should be the opening goal. It is the opening goal. Finished off by guess who? Dorny Romero, who continues to be a goal-scoring machine for the Dominican Republic in the Nations League. It's the Dominican Republic's continued push towards history in the Nations League. Dorny Romero scores yet again. And the DR take a 1-0 lead over Bermuda. Have to say there was a hint of offside here. The referee looked over to his assistant. The flag stayed down. And frankly, there were no appeals either from Bermuda. And of course, without VAR, the goal will stand. Now, Dorny Romero continues his incredible goal-scoring record in the Concacaf Nations League. And his name is the one being chanted by the Dominican Republic natives. Well, moral of the story, do not give Dorny Romero time and space in the penalty area. He will make you pay for it. And take nothing away from the angled ball that was played to set him off on the races. I was about to say that it was the first goal of the day, but Guyana actually got that. Just a few seconds before, it looks like, Dorny Romero got his. Jose de Rosario scoring for Guyana. They have a 5-1 lead on aggregate, 1-0 lead on the night over Barbados as they look to qualify for the Gold Cup prelims. No score in the other two play-in games going on. Guadeloupe and the Cayman Islands still tied. Guadeloupe pretty much safe. 6-0 lead on aggregate. You would say that's pretty much done and dusted, I would say. French Guiana and Belize, 34 minutes in, no score. Can Belize pull off the upset? Getting to the Gold Cup prelims. They won 2-1 in the opening first leg. We'll be keeping an eye on that game as we move forward tonight. The referee's having a word here with DeLucas. And this replay will give you the reason why that conversation had to take place. This ball is clipped in. Ooh, Valdez did not get there. And Bermuda did not take advantage. Oh, bodies flying everywhere. With 10 minutes to go in the half. And Urbaez is saying that he was fouled away from the ball. Now close did Kane Critchlow come to maybe making an impact again for Bermuda? A couple of players had a chance to make an impact there. Well, now after that goal from Romero, Dominican Republic have scored 22 goals in the Nations League. They've conceded 3. Ascona for Vasquez! Well, it was nearly another. Referee played advantage as Ascona was fouled. Referee allowed it to continue on, and Ronaldo Vasquez nearly doubled the lead. There's the foul, a push in the back. And Vasquez with his left boot, he's a righty, tried to volley that on target, and it just flashed past. Bell was beaten if that had snuck in. Another look, great work by Ascona. His close control continues to shine. And Vasquez not able to hit the target on the back end of the sequence here. Could have easily been a second for the Dominican Republic. It's going to be a foul on the near side. I think the Dominican Republic supporters are saying, well, the assistant didn't wave the flag, so should be let go. But center official had the better look at it and gives the free kick. And Bermuda will take it very quickly here. In the end, I think that's going to come back to get them. They were not as supported up front as they would have liked, and the Dominican Republic, as they've done throughout this entirety of the group stage, had no problems shutting it down. Michael Finley gets an explanation from one of the officials. One that he can live with, it looks like. It is, I must say, nice for a change to see a civil conversation between an official and a coach. Don't always get that. Oh, and here's a takeaway. Bermuda looking for the equalizer here, and they just miss it. Oh! Great pressure from Michael Finley's group, and it's Reggie Lamb who scored a wonderful volley here against Antigua and Barbuda just 4 days ago. And he's unlucky not to score again here. It's just a whisker wide of the post. He actually shows great composure here. Reggie Lamb kept it alive, picked his spot, just couldn't hit the target. And frankly, Valdez was beaten all ends up. If that was on target, it would have been 1-1. First time tonight, the Dominican Republic have been legitimately tested, and they were let off the hook. And I must say, Bermuda are continuing to struggle with Edison Ascona. He just continues to be a thorn in their side in this first half. They've got no one who can stay with him. Quick feet. And he's bundled over by Reese Jones Jr. Lopez will take. Oh, and he had the right idea, the captain. No one could get a touch, and Bell collects for Bermuda with just over 5 minutes, plus stoppage time left in the half. Dorny Romero with the opening goal for the DR. There it is, back in the 32nd minute. I must say, a little bit of a hint of offside in that, but the assistant did not put up the flag, no VAR, so the on-field decision stands. Ascona again, dazzling with his touches. And then a foul will go the Dominican Republic's way. Oh, the referee and Junior Fairpo not seeing eye to eye. Possibly asking the referee to go to his book there, but as we saw in the first game was well managed despite the tempers fraying, I should say, at times. And our referee tonight is doing the same. We've had a couple of flashpoints already. Waldir Garcia has done a very good job at making sure that this game doesn't boil over. Now he's given a throw-in to Bermuda. DR have a miscue in the end. Couldn't get the ball back into play. Another DR player down, clutching his face. And it's another poor back pass here, but Bell bails him out for now. Still could be trouble here. Ascona for Vasquez. And then Vasquez again. Saved by Bell. Well, Bermuda are making their goalkeeper's life very, very tough at the moment. That's another poor back pass. Little give and go. Romero and Vasquez. And Ronaldo Vasquez is thwarted by Bell, who got back in time to defend his goal. That's the second time that Bermuda almost handed a goal on a silver platter to the Dominican Republic. Lovely give and go here, or Baez. Couldn't get to it. Bermuda do a good job to win it back, and then they're swarmed up the other end. Well defended by the DR. And then it's another poor pass. That one comes up short. And Bermuda could be in here. It's a wonderful ball through. Chance for the equalizer. Oh! It's hit off the post. I think Valdez maybe got a touch onto that, and Kane Critchlow is thwarted. Now the look, tight angle. Oh, I don't think Valdez gets anywhere near that. Critchlow smashes this off the outside of the post. Oh, but the referee says that Valdez touched it because it's out for a corner. Nearly the equalizer. Parfit to deliver the corner. It's going to go past everybody, even Twite, who was anticipating that. Not able to get to it, and it's a goal kick. It's a little bit of a wasted opportunity. Fair play to Kane Critchlow. He's already scored some big goals for Bermuda in this Nations League group phase. Nearly scored another. Would have pegged the Dominican Republic back, at least for the time being. Since we last updated you on the games elsewhere, there's been 3 goals that have gone in. Actually, check that. There's been 4 goals that have gone in elsewhere. Guadeloupe have made it 1-0 against the Cayman Islands, as if they needed any other goals. They'll be through to the Gold Cup prelims. We'll get to the others in a second as Baez loops this over the top. Penalty shouts come in from the Dominican Republic players. It's not been given. Tony Romero can't believe the lack of a decision there. We'll revisit it. Was Romero handled here? Ooh, there was an arm around him from Leverock, but I think he did enough, the captain, to get away with that. I think that was shielded from the referee's view. It's one of those where it was in the gray area, but not enough. And we begin 2 added minutes at the end of the half. Bermuda have a man over here if they can get it going quickly enough. There's going to be a foul against Morchel. Oh, it's a free kick. And Jean Lopez is booked for words he's just expressed to the referee. You rarely see the captain get booked for dissent. But that's the outcome. Ooh, to be fair, there wasn't a lot in that. Bermuda get the free kick, and to be fair, Sean Lopez did not keep his cool. Yellow card is the decision. And Bermuda have a chance to get a late equalizer at the end of the half. Xavier Valdez making sure everyone for the DR is in the right position here. This is within range for Bermuda. There's no questions about that. Can they hit the target? And from distance, oh, they do hit the target! And it's gonna be tucked in! Valdez spills it! And Bermuda are on terms. It's Dejere Parfit who equalizes in first half stoppage time. Well, it's turned into a half of mistakes from the Dominican Republic, at least at the back end of the half. None bigger than Xavier Valdez fumbling the shot from Zico Lewis. And Parfit right on the doorstep to tuck it home. Brilliant response from Bermuda. And it looks like it's going to be 1-1 going into the halftime break. Well, Bermuda have to score quite a few more goals if they're going to have their way tonight, but it's a wonderful response from Michael Finley's group. And the DR are pegged back as the first half comes to a close. Dorny Romero's goal canceled out by Dejere Parfit. Dominican Republic are still asking questions of the referee. Oh, and a red card's been given to Gabriel Nevelev as the players begin to walk out to the locker rooms at the end of the half. The head coach for the Dominican Republic, who barely got involved, has ended up falling on his sword for the players here. So the DR coach is sent off right as the half ends, and Bermuda are on terms going into the end of the half. Well, we'll let the referees handle their business here as we'll take a break at the end of the half. 1-1 is the score, and it's all kicking off here in the DR. We'll have highlights and stats to come during the halftime break. Dominican Republic on the verge of making history. As long as they don't suffer a very heavy defeat tonight, the DR will win this group. They will go to League A and get promoted to League A for the first time in their Nations League history. For the first time ever, after nearly 6 decades of waiting, actually just over 6 decades of waiting, they'll make it to the Gold Cup for the first time in the country's history. What an achievement if they are able to finish the job here. Again, it's 1-1. Should also mention, we talked about it, Gabriel Nevilev was given a straight red card in between the end of the first half and the start of the second half. We got that footage to you. That's the head coach for the Dominican Republic. So unfortunately, they'll be without him the rest of the way. We didn't hear what he said, of course, but his night, at least while the game is going on here, he's going to end prematurely. Big surprise in that is when he seemed so calm and cool during all the chaos on the touchline, but obviously said something that our center official did not like. Really, our head referee didn't waste any time in sending him off. Baez goes through the back. The goal scorer perfect there. It's a free kick for Bermuda. We talked about it earlier. Michael Finley probably telling his team, yeah, we don't know exactly what he's telling his team, but we're guessing that, well, he told his team, get the lead and then see what happens. See if you can add on from there and make life a little bit difficult in the Dominican Republic tonight. By the way, the goal that Parfit scored is just the 4th goal that the Dominican Republic have conceded in the entire group stage. This ball bounces in for Xavier Valdez, who's going to look for some redemption in the second half after a couple of late first half miscues, including the one that led to the equalizing goal, as he couldn't handle the free kick shot from Zico Lewis. Good challenge by Twite to get the ball away from Junior Firpo. Should mention as well that captain for the DR, Sean Lopez, is on a yellow card going into the second half as well. The only player that was booked. Good challenge defensively. Leverock on Vasquez, and the Dominican Republic have a throw-in on the far side. A couple of scores from elsewhere we can give you updates on. Guadeloupe have beaten the Cayman Islands by 1-0. Guadeloupe are through the Gold Cup prelims, trying to get back to the Gold Cup yet again after making it in 2023. Shot there is deflected, and it goes wide. Sean Lopez perplexed. To a corner. Dominican Republic looking to get their lead back. Firpo to take. Headed at the back post and then cleared off the line, almost at least. And the re-entry is kept in play for Firpo. First time ball in by Vasquez. He's headed high into the air by Leverock. Firpo trying to retain possession. Still up for grabs here. Edison Azcona on the far side. Still Edison Azcona. Vasquez on the turn. Dorny Romero blocked by Twite. Not only as far as Lopez. And then the pass by Firpo is behind Azcona. Bermuda trying to break up the other end. It's a challenge to stop the sequence. Firpo put in the challenge, and then some afters here. Dominican Republic are contending that Firpo may have been touched afterwards, maybe stomped on, I'm not quite sure. Here's the replay. Obviously a poor challenge by Firpo. Something happened on the back end here as the two rolled over. It didn't look like it. Zico Lewis, I think, was trying to get away from the situation. He may have touched Firpo with his boot, but he certainly didn't stomp on him. Dominican Republic, of course, trying to protect one of their best players, if not their best player. And this could become a bit of a concern here. Firpo is still down. Gives us a chance to look back at the goals. Romero in the 32nd minute. The DR a 1-0 lead that lasted until the first half injury time period. Valdez couldn't handle the shot by Lewis. Parfit pounces to equalize. It's a decent strike by Lewis, but Valdez, my goodness, should have done much better with that. He would tell you the same. Great hustle and anticipation by Parfit. Never gave up on it. Found the equalizer. Now there is concern. The Dominican Republic, can Junior Firpo continue here? Now he's back up onto his feet. Last time we saw him, he was down in a heap. Gets a hand from the crowd here. Firpo will have to, I think he'll have to come back on. Referee will have to wave him back in. Doesn't look like there were any cards for Firpo or for Lewis or for anyone else involved in the last sequence. It's the two best teams in this group, this Nations League campaign in League B. They're going to go after each other. Got a couple of flashpoints. The other part of this, too, is that these teams might be sick of seeing each other. They've played so many games during these last few windows. Obviously, 2 against each side. It's getting to that point. We're almost hoping internationally to play somebody else. Almost get too used to seeing each other. When those flashpoints can happen. Off the takeaway here. No contact, says the referee. It's actually a bit of a missed opportunity there for the Dominican Republic, and Bermuda are going to get a chance to break with Parfit up the other end here. Plays it centrally. Critchlow helps it along. Chance for Bermuda, and Valdez makes the stop. That was a real opportunity for Bermuda to take their first lead of the night. Wonderfully worked by Kane Critchlow. And the shot ends up being pretty tame in the end. Valdez has no trouble with that. The other 2 games going on right now. Guyana leading 3-1 against Barbados, leading 7-2 on aggregate as that bounces out for a corner. Belize have scored twice against French Guiana. French Guiana did get one back, 2-1 on the night, 4-2 to League C Belize on aggregate. That would be a play-in upset if Belize can get through and claim a spot in the Gold Cup prelims. That, of course, is the place where Bermuda is headed as this one stands as well. From the corner, it's Romero, who's beaten to it by Leverock. Oh, and then it's a really poor challenge from Heinz Morschell. took his eye off the ball and took out one of the Bermuda players in the process. He actually was never looking at the ball, Heinz Morschell, and if he hadn't have gone shoulder to shoulder, he could have been in big trouble there. Looked up at the ball, then immediately saw that Reggie Lamb was next to him and just laid one into him. We briefly mentioned it in the first game. Players had a few challenges in this window where we had VAR and be having a very different discussion. Morschell with a better challenge there. Tries to follow up. Harry Twite gives chase and actually keeps it in for Morschell. He didn't mean to do that. And Morschell wins a corner. Junior Fairbow to take the corner. It's a high arcer. It's headed back centrally. Jordi Romero. Blocked by Twite. The DR asking for a penalty. I think it came off of Twite's chest. Urbaez right back into the middle. Headed down by Leverock. Lucas resets as Kona tries to find a teammate. Another header away by Twite, I beg your pardon, this time. Morschell on the turn. It could be another, and then it's touched out for a corner by Leverock. Constant pressure again on the Bermudan back line. Morschell was the one who touched it along, and then, well, Dante Leverock needed to make the challenge, or it easily could have been 2-1. From the corner, Morschell put pressure on Bell. Neither of them got a touch, and Twite clears. Clipped back in by Sambataro. Actually forces the Dominican Republic attack to move back a couple of steps. Remember, the DR have not dropped any points from this group stage. They've been a perfect 5 out of 5. Trying to get their lead back here. Ronaldo Vasquez is blocked. Another corner upcoming. Gabriel Nevelev has had to yield to his assistants here to try and keep the DR moving in the right direction. From the corner, towards Morschell, headed away. Parfit on the turn, trying to release a teammate, but he's helped along by Sambataro. Here's Urbaez. DeLucas. A spreading of the play out to the far side. Akil Azcona out for a corner as he tried to link up again with Junior Fairbow. More defending for Bermuda to do here, and Fairbow will take the corner again. Fairbow's ball in. Oh, and it was another opportunity. Chosen Geyer this time, not able to head it on target. We'll go back to Bermuda via a goal kick as we approach the hour mark. Reggie Lamb, well, he thought he won the header. Referee says he won the header unfairly. Oh, little push in the back, well spotted. Free kick, the Dominican Republic. Again, for those just joining us, the Dominican Republic are on the cusp of making history in two different ways tonight. Be a first ever promotion to League A in the Nations League and a first ever berth into the Gold Cup. And they want their lead back here. Oh, Vasquez was not far away. It doesn't take Ronaldo Vasquez much to get into position to make something happen. And he's about a foot or two away from giving the Dominican Republic their lead back. Just tried to pass it into the bottom corner, and Bell was beaten. No questions about that. But Vasquez could not nestle it into the bottom corner. Besides Dorny Romero, it's been Ronaldo Vasquez along with Junior Firpo scoring the goals and creating the big chances. And Vasquez nearly scored for a second game running against Bermuda. And Bermuda find a response at the other end. And to keep this alive, Reggie Lamb poking it out to the near side. It's a good cut back. Oh, and there was a trip by Urbaez. And Kane Critchlow wins a free kick. Urbaez wants an explanation. And the referee just says, let's go, it's a free kick. Was there a trip here? Oh, there really wasn't, was there? Kane Critchlow was looking for that. If anything, Kane Critchlow tripped himself. But Bermuda get the decision. But they cannot get the goal. It's headed away. And then it's a dangerous pass back, but in the end it was into a safe area. Lovely pinning pass onto this near side. Put Bermuda back on the front foot. Critchlow. His cross is blocked after he got past Urbaez. Firpo, oh, lovely skill to get past Critchlow and get past another challenge. That gets the crowd onto its feet. Some magic from Junior Firpo. Firpo continues his run. Here's Edison Azcona. Azcona back from Firpo. Firpo from Azcona would be a wonderful team goal, but Firpo runs out of room. And Bermuda end up giving possession back, although they do stop what would have been a magical goal from the Dominican Republic. Ball is just about kept in play initially by Vasquez, then it runs over the end line for a goal kick. Talk about a little bit of fairy dust from Junior Firpo. And he linked up brilliantly with Edison Azcona. Those two have really played well together tonight. And then Firpo on the edge of the penalty area, just not having enough time and space to continue what was a memorable bit of build-up from the DR. Chested towards Romero. Vasquez gives it a look. Jones Jr. tries to clear, and then it's a miscued touch by Sampataro. It's a throw-in. You can see the shots starting to build up again for the Dominican Republic. Outshot Bermuda by 9. Now 4 more shots on target. And really, Bermuda haven't had too many big opportunities in this second half yet. Urbaez. To Lucas. Here is Firpo. Morshell edged away from it. And Bermuda break up the other end here. There's one man to beat. That is the man who ends up getting the important touch. It was Shoshin Geyer. It's a free kick for the DR. See there with 25 minutes of the 90 left, both goals came in the first half. DR want to get their lead back in the second half. Ascona flips it into the center, Dwight's header. Touched away from her Baez, and then volleyed by Lopez. Over the top and out. Lopez, I think as soon as he got a touch, he knew he wanted to let this go. Decent technique, but could not get it to dip on the back end, and Bell wasn't troubled. It's also through a bit of traffic inside the penalty area as well. Here is Ronaldo Vasquez on the early ball. Firpo's in the middle, so's Romero! Bell touches it away. Firpo picks up the pieces. Still Junior Firpo, he gets it back. Firpo! And it's blocked by Leverock. Another corner upcoming. Well, if Leverock doesn't block this, Firpo would have given Bell a heck of an attempt to try to save here. Bell touched it off of Romero's head initially. Great job by Junior Firpo just to stay with it. And he nearly gave his side the lead back. From the corner. Headed down. And headed out for another corner. Shoshin Geyer. Not able to put it on frame. It was blocked. The Dominican Republic again has a set piece. And are going to make a couple of changes here. That is going to be that for Edison Ascona, who played really well tonight. Ederlin Reyes is going to take his spot. Edison Ascona gets a nice hand here, and it's richly deserved. He was one of the best players on the pitch tonight. On top of that, Rafael Mata, who scored last time out for the DR, is also going to come on. So Reyes for Ascona, Mata for Ronaldo Vasquez, who ends what has been a marvelous Nations League campaign. You can see what the coaching staff are starting to do here. Give some of their players a curtain call here from the supporters as they are closing in on a double dose of history. From the corner, it's a free header, and it's 2-1! Dorny Romero on the doorstep, scores again for the Dominican Republic, because of course he does! Death, taxes, Dorny Romero in the Nations League, scoring goals. It's as simple as that for the Dominican Republic. And they take the lead back. It's 2-1. He's just always in the mix. And frankly, nobody picked him up in time for Bermuda, and they are punished for it. It's a brace for Romero, and the bench goes absolutely bonkers. How fitting is it that on the night that the Dominican Republic are going to make history, that but their goal-scoring machine is at the heart of the action. Bermuda, meanwhile, will make a change. The Jai Tucker is going to come on for Roger Lee. And if Bermuda are to get a result tonight, they're going to have to do it all over again. They trail for a second time, and there's 20 minutes plus stoppages remaining. Here comes the Dominican Republic again. Little layoff here. Reyes, his first touches, ends up losing out, and then DeLucas commits a foul on the back end. It's a free kick. Reggie Lamb might talk himself into a yellow if he's not too careful here. Look, it was a good reverse ball, and well, it's a pretty clear foul by DeLucas. I think Reggie Lamb may have been asking the referee to book DeLucas there, not to be. Referees here tonight and earlier today have tried to keep the cards in the pocket with the players as best as they can. And I think especially for the neutrals, that is a pretty favorable tactic. Live table, Dominican Republic would finish perfect in the group. 6 wins out of 6, and they would be going to the Gold Cup for the first time in the country's history, on top of being promoted to League A for the next edition of the Concacaf Nations League. 2 incredibly impressive achievements are very shortly going to be accomplished. Here is Mata. Crossed into the middle here, Firpo! Romero, who's on a hat trick, couldn't control it. Heinz Morschel. Out wide by Sambataro. Cross into the middle again, looking for Romero. Just out of his reach. Urbaez trying to keep it alive. It's a ricochet. Oh, is it a ricochet? No, it's actually going to be a foul against Urbaez. And it's a free kick for Bermuda. It just fizzled out at the end. And Urbaez, for a second time in this second half, is beside himself with a decision. Bermuda are having trouble playing their way through now. Dominican Republic have once again taken complete command of proceedings. By the way, both of the games these two have played have been very, very close and of the highest quality. High boot goes against Reese Jones Jr. It goes back to the DR. Firpo for Urbaez. Romero's in the middle, and Twite gets there in time to thwart Romero, who's in search of a hat trick. Well, that would really put the result to bed if the DR could get another. From the corner, Morschel. Still Morschel plays it across. Oh, and it's fired in by Lopez. A captain's goal for the Dominican Republic. They lead by 3 goals to 1 on a Lopez laser beam. And they're on the cusp of a double dose of history. Morchell does the dirty work, but take nothing away from the volleyed finish by Lopez. It's a wonderful hit. And the Dominican Republic's perfect League B campaign continues to roll in the right direction, leading towards history. What a finish. Probably the best goal of the bunch from Lopez, and the DR are nearly there. Parfit will be brought out here, as will Zico Lewis. Remy Coddington has come on. Urbaez will come out for the DR. Miguel Beltre will take his place. Urbaez can cool down. And Beltre can help see it out for the Dominican Republic. Like Blaze Hall was one of the players who came on for Bermuda down the stretch here, as this one's starting to get away from them a bit. 2 goals from Romero and a goal from Lopez, the captain. Another takeaway. This time Leverock settles things down. As good as Bermuda were at times in the first half, the DR just have another couple of notches that they can go to. And they have been wonderful to watch over the last 20 minutes. But there's a takeaway here. Can Bermuda get a goal back? Valdez crashes in. And he wins a free kick. Reggie Lamb tried to beat him to the spot. Now the look, it's a wonderful touch by Lamb, but then he loses out. When he actually smashes into Valdez, he goes studs up. Well, the studs did not make contact. Valdez able to get the job done there for the Dominican Republic. There's the goals from the match, I should say. Coming down on the final 12 minutes plus stoppages. Mata upended. And it's a free kick. Reyes, I beg your pardon, was brought down. Actually was helped along by Mata. He was not the one who was fouled. We do have a couple of updates from the other games to get to in just a moment. First, the free kick. Whistled in there, but it's out for a throw-in off the header by Jones Jr. It's still 2-1, Belize and French Guiana on the night. Belize leading 4-2 on aggregate in the play-in. Guyana and Barbados in the middle of a 7-goal thriller. Guyana leading by 4 goals to 3. They had a much larger margin last time we checked in. The good news for Guyana is that they're leading 8-4 on aggregate and closing into a Gold Cup prelim berth. Dominican Republic are closing in on a berth to the Gold Cup proper for the first time. They've never been there in the country's history. We've played the Gold Cup for over 60 years. Dominican Republic are on the verge of finally being a part of it. Reggie Lamb fouled there. Free kick for Bermuda. should say it's not all sorrow for Bermuda. They're in very good shape of clinching what's going to be a Gold Cup prelim spot for them as one of the two best second-place teams in League B. So Michael Finley's side will have plenty to play for over the next few international windows. Ball's played in behind here. Reyes, he's offside. It's a free kick to Bermuda with 10 minutes of the 90 still to play. And a good spot by the assistant there. Reyes was at the very top of the screen. Again, our angle isn't the most definitive, but it did look like he was a step or two off. Lovely ball threaded up ahead. Now Dorny Romero, who's on a hat trick. He's unselfish. Morshell saved. Morshell again blocked. Well, how did Bermuda keep that out? Bermuda have a chance up the other end. Early shot is flashed wide. And Reggie Lamb nearly scored twice in as many games in the Nations League. After Heinz Morshell was thwarted, first by Bell. I think there might have been a defender who got a touch on the second one. Yes, it's off the back on the second attempt. And then Reggie Lamb, early shot up the other end, fizzes past the target. Well, Bermuda could have made it interesting, at least on the night, if they had gotten that goal back. Would have put the result at least in doubt. Here's Morshell striding forward. Lays it off for Mata. Reyes for Firpo, and it's saved. Oh, and the rebound by Romero is sent into the seats with the goal gaping. And actually, it's all a moot point. I think the offside flag goes up. Another look, Morshell. You know what? Firpo actually never got a touch onto that. Offside flag maybe shouldn't have gone up. But either way, Dorny Romero could not take the chance. It was Morshell who touched it. Well, to be fair, Junior Firpo may have actually been offside on the Morshell shot. So maybe take that back. Actually, Firpo hit the post before redirected to Dorny Romero. The long and the short of it is, it was offside anyway. And Valdez plays the role of center back, shepherding that out for a goal kick. Here come a couple of changes. Sambataro is going to come out. Juan Pineda is going to take his spot. The other change is Angel Montes de Oca. He's going to come on. And it's going to be a hero send-off for the captain, Jean Lopez. Scored a worldie of a volley to make it 3-1. He'll give his captain's armband to Junior Firpo, and he gets a curtain call from the fans here in the Dominican Republic. It's the last change of the night for the DR. Well, the captain gets a standing ovation from the fans here. This Dominican Republic side are about to go where none in the history of this nation have gone before. 6 minutes plus stoppages away from capping off what is to be a very special night. That's a takeaway. Romero tries to get back to it. It's well dealt with by Twite. And it's out for a corner. look, if Dwight doesn't get there, in all likelihood, Dorny Romero scores his third goal of the night. It's well defended. Also tell you that Canada and Suriname, second leg of the Nations League quarterfinals in Ligue A, has just kicked off. Suriname trying to come from a goal down. Pull off an unlikely surprise. Junior Fairboat to take. Oh, there was a couple of chances to get a glancing header onto that. They were both missed. Mata. All the way back it goes to Deoka. See the goal scorers there. A brace for Romero. A laser beam from Lopez. Parfit scored at the end of the first half. Fairboat keeps it in for Reyes. And then Morshell! Oh, it's a screamer! Heinz Morshell puts a cherry on top for the Dominican Republic. 4 fabulous goals from the DR tonight. Such a classy double back-heeled sequence. Reyes and then Fairboat. Reyes, and then it's a marvelous finish from Morshell. It's a goal that epitomizes the group stage from the Dominican Republic. They've just been far and away the best that this group in League B has to offer. And not only are they going to make history tonight, they're going to do it in style by winning every single one of their 6 Nations League group games. Couple of changes for Bermuda. Kane Critchlow is out. Minori Scott is going to come on. David Jones is going to enter for Reggie Lamb on a double swap. This night for the Dominican Republic just gets better and better. And for Bermuda, who were right in the middle of it, right on the heels of the DR really for about an hour of this game, have started to let it slip away at the end. And the good news for Bermuda is the Gold Cup prelims will still beckon for them. It is the Dominican Republic's night, and frankly, it's been the Dominican Republic's group stage here in League B, Group D. DR in this remarkable run just continued to score time and time again. They're now up to 25 goals scored and just 4 conceded. Talk about dominance. Remember, there was 5 goals between these two in the first meeting. It was much tighter, of course. There's 5 goals again in the second meeting, except the DR have been dominant throughout the majority of the match, and they're in behind again here. Fairboat for Romero. It's a hat trick. Adorni Romero, Nations League hat trick, makes it 5-1. The Dominican Republic will be celebrating this night for many, many days to come. Fairboat with the assist, he's unselfish, and Dorny Romero has scored 3 of the Dominican Republic 5. He's just a big game player on big nights like this. And these fans are going to remember these scenes for a very, very long time. A trifecta from Dorny Romero. In the Dominican Republic, after scoring 6 just 4 days ago, have scored 5 tonight as we enter 3 added minutes. In some ways, the scoreline is a bit harsh on Bermuda. I think that's fair to say. But what it does show is just how phenomenal the Dominican Republic have been in this historic Nations League run. They've been doing this to everybody, and Bermuda are the latest victims here. I should mention, it really doesn't reflect how good Bermuda have been in their Nations League run. This has been the best Nations League run they've ever put together. It's going to end on a very sour note tonight, but they have plenty to look forward to in the months to come. They won't remember tonight fondly, but they could still have some very memorable nights in the games upcoming. The DR and their fans are going to remember this night for a lifetime. The night they finally got there. Another early ball, surely not another. Oh, and Romero nearly scored a quartet. It flies out of play. He's a magnet to the ball, isn't he? Romero, harried by Twite, did just about enough to hold him off. Final seconds in what's been a 5-star performance and one of the most memorable nights in Dominican Republic sporting history. It's won back by Mata. The DR showing that they have been relentless throughout the group stage. That hasn't changed tonight. We talked about them continuing to meet their standards, and well, they have done that in the second half. The first year of the Gold Cup, you have to go back into the mid to early 60s. Dominican Republic have never been there. They've never been a part of it. They're a whistle away from finally making it. It's won back by Pineda. Romero for a 4th! He's got it! He's unstoppable! Dorny Romero has scored a quartet of goals in the Concacaf Nations League. It's absolutely astonishing. They simply cannot slow him down. And it's fitting because no one has been able to slow down the Dominican Republic in the Nations League this year. 6-1 is your score. Dorny Romero has been dynamite tonight. And all the Dominican Republic want now is the final whistle. It's been just about the perfect evening. All they want now is the fairy tale ending. Full time. At long last, the Dominican Republic will play in the Concacaf Gold Cup. And for the first time in their history, They will compete in League A in the Nations League. It's one of the greatest nights in Dominican Republic sporting history. They've beaten Bermuda by 6-1 to finish the Nations League perfect with 6 wins out of 6, led by a historic quartet of goals by Dorny Romero, capping off what's been the perfect night for the Dominican Republic in front of their fans in the Nations League tonight. It simply doesn't get much better than this. There's been over 60 years of Gold Cups, none of them have included the Dominican Republic. Well, in 2025, that run will end, and we will see the Dominican Republic play for the top prizes that Concacaf has to offer. Scenes like they've never seen before in the DR tonight. Now, this is a country known for really its baseball exploits on a sporting landscape. Well, don't look now, but here they come on the footballing side of things as well. Before we leave you, we do get a chance to recap what was always going to be a memorable night for the Dominican Republic, but just got better and better for them, really, as the night progressed. Dorny Romero's night began in the 32nd minute. He gave the DR the lead as he slid in behind to make it 1-0. Then Reggie Lamb fouled in first half stoppage time. This is when Bermuda were right in the mix of this one. Zico Lewis would take the free kick, but it was fumbled by Xavier Valdez, and Dejair Parfit would equalize in first half stoppage time to make it 1-1. And Gabriel Nevelev, where is he right now? He was sent off at halftime. I'm sure he'll join the celebrations at some point. Second half, it was all the Dominican Republic. It began with a free header from Dorny Romero to give the DR their lead back early on in the second half, and it just got better and better from there. Heinz Morschel playing it across. Jean Lopez with a laser beam of a volley to make it 3-1, a captain's goal. And then look at this, just delightful footwork. Reyes in Ferpo, and then a magical finish from Morschel, picking out the top corner to make it 4-1. But it turns out they were far from done. Dorny Romero would get his hat trick off the assist from Junior Ferpo to make it 5-1 right at the end. And if 3 wasn't enough for you, Dorny Romero had a goal in stoppage time as well. Lovely finish with his left. It set up beautifully for him. He scores a 4th goal on the night, 6th for the Dominican Republic. And at long last, they have punched their ticket to the Concacaf Gold Cup, and they will play in League A in the Concacaf Nations League next season. A historic night for the Dominican Republic. These scenes and celebrations will continue long into the Santiago evening. There's no questions about that. Full-time match stats. What more can you say? The DR thoroughly deserving of the result. Scoreline is slightly harsh on Bermuda, but it was always going to be the Dominican Republic's night, especially after the hour mark. They just turned it up to another level, and Bermuda just could not quite stay with them. And overall, that's how it played out in the group. Bermuda to the Gold Cup prelims, the DR to the Gold Cup, and Nations League, League A.